Citing sources, Bloomberg reported under a rare used policy on lending into official areas, the IMF may consider approving Sri Lanka's loan because China's assurance is the only prerequisite missing. Moving forward with loan approval would be a shift from its position earlier this month when it said the approval of Sri Lanka's $2.9 billion extended fund facility will depend on whether the nation can secure assurances from all bilateral creditors.
What is lending into official areas?
According to an explanation on the IMF website, the IMF can use the policy on lending into official areas if it deems prompt financial support is essential and sees the country pursuing appropriate policies and making good faith efforts to reach an agreement with the creditors.
Why is the IMF considering this rarely used policy?
Lending into official areas is a provision aimed at preventing a creditor from blocking assistance to a country in dire need of financing and has shown commitment to meet loan conditions. Pending China's credit assurance, Sri Lanka is trying to meet other reform conditions set by the IMF, including increasing electricity tariffs. The Paris Club and India have provided formal support to Sri Lanka's loan recast, leaving China as a holdout. China, which holds about 52% of the bankrupt nation's bilateral debt, has instead offered term extensions via the state-owned Export-Import Bank. According to Bloomberg, an IMF spokesperson said it's premature to discuss the precise IMF policies that could be applied to lending Sri Lanka and that the nation's authorities continue to seek financing assurances so that the fund's executive board can consider their request for a loan.
To which countries has the IMF previously adopted the policy of lending into official areas?
In mid-December 2015, the IMF's $17.5 billion loan program with Ukraine came under threat as Ukraine failed to meet its final payment of $3 billion debt to Russia, causing Ukraine to be in default. However, the situation was preempted as IMF Executive Board revised its policy of lending into official areas in early December. Relaxation of this rule permitted the fund to continue lending to Ukraine despite Ukraine's non-payment to Russia. Similarly, the IMF adopted the same policy towards Suriname in late 2021. The Suriname government insists that it must cut spending as part of its economic restructuring program with the International Monetary Fund and has implemented tax reforms that include an end to subsidies for electricity, water and gas line as well as new trade tax.
In September last year, the IMF mission stressed that for the staff-level agreement to move forward, there needs to be a government that has a mandate to carry out the reforms.
From the IMF's perspective, our arrangement is with the people of Sri Lanka. We're here to help the country and for the country to emerge from the crisis and the people to enjoy prosperity going forward. So the political environment matters in the sense that these economic reforms need to be carried out. There needs to be a government that has the mandate to carry out the reforms, and there needs to be buy-in by society to support the reforms and to move forward with them.
IMF Senior Mission Chief for Sri Lanka, Peter Brewer, was speaking at the CBSL headquarters on the 1st of September 2022.
In a video message, Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom, James Cleverleys, said Britain will work with the international partners to find solutions for Sri Lanka's crisis.
We know that many Sri Lankans are enduring privations and hardships caused by the economic conditions of the past year. Britain will work with our international partners to find solutions, including through the IMF, and we will continue to provide humanitarian aid to the most vulnerable. We're determined to do everything possible to support Sri Lanka to overcome the effects of climate change, including through the Blue Planet Fund. We will also continue to support human rights in Sri Lanka for all of the country's communities. I have no doubt that our historic ties will only grow stronger in the decades ahead. And so, on this auspicious occasion, I look forward to the next 75 years of friendship.
James Cleverleys was speaking to mark Sri Lanka's 75th year of independence and to celebrate the UK-Sri Lanka relations.